Today is the 22nd of April 2026 and my Tesla Model Y here had the spring update overnight, and as you can see I've got the blue spot at the bottom of the screen showing me this has got some new features. So this is a hardware 3 car but with the Ryzen chip, so let's have a look what has been added in this spring update. So first of all, let's go to the release notes. And this is version 2026.14.1. And the first thing is the Hey Grok wake up command. So you can now use your voice to enable Grok rather than a long push on the right scroll wheel. So we go to Grok settings to enable that. But we've also got another new feature which I think is going to be very powerful, is we've got reminders based on your location. So let's first just enable the wake up command. So what we've got to do is enable Grok and then go to settings.
Where to next? Tell me the place.
And there it is there. So let's try this new reminder feature, but I don't have a route set yet. So let's see whether that works without a route. Can you remind me later on today when I'm in Abingdon to buy some bread?
Sure, I'll remind you to buy some bread when you're in Abingdon later today. Got it set.
Okay, goodbye. So I'll see later on today when I'm in Abingdon whether that's going to work, and I'll drop that into the video. So let's see what else we've got. So if I go to software, release notes, and the next function is a change to pet mode, where you can go into controls, display, customize pet mode, and you can now put in your own pet's name. So that will be on the screen, and we've got some new graphics. So we've now got a cat and a hedgehog. I'm not sure how many people are going to have a pet hedgehog in their car and want to keep the air conditioning on for that. But let's just go into controls, display, and pet mode. And we've got a blue spot on there, so we can go down to here and we can see the new feature here because it's got the blue spot next to it. And we can assign what graphic we want, and we can give it a name, save. So if I go to pet mode, and then what I'm going to do is open the door and lift my bum off the seat, and there we go. That's what you get with the new pet mode. And that other graphic which briefly came up on the screen was because my phone was left on the charger in the car, and that's a feature they added some months ago now, I think in the Christmas 2025 update. This channel has had over 15 million views, yet only has 40,000 subscribers, whereas it should be 3 to 4 times that, because over 90% of the viewers are not subscribed. Please do, it's completely free, it's only a click for you, and it really does help. Right, so let's move on and go to software release notes and see what else we've got. So next we've got trips, and they've moved trips from being an individual item in the menu into the energy app, and there's quite a bit to that, so I'm going to cover that in a separate video because I think that justifies a video on its own right. Then we've got a few changes to Sketchpad. This is something I've never used, but you can unleash your inner artist with the enhanced Sketchpad, now supporting stickers and emojis. Well, great, so what? Next we've got music app queuing. Swipe right on the tracks in Apple Music or Spotify to add them to the queue. In Apple Music, tap and hold on a track to add or remove from favorites. In Spotify, swipe left to add or remove from the liked songs. So I use Spotify for my music. So what this gives you is left and right swiping. So if I swipe left on a song, it adds it to my liked songs, and if I swipe right on a song, it adds it to the queue. But I doubt I'm going to use that because you've got buttons here already to do that. So this one I'd add to my liked songs, and I can click that to remove it, and you've got a button here to add it to the queue. So I think pushing the buttons is easier than remembering which way the swipes work. So next, we've got automatic software updates, and now you can schedule updates to start automatically overnight. And I think this is something that people are going to enable and find really useful. So at the moment, if your car's parked at home overnight, connected to Wi-Fi, when you get an update, you don't know about it until the morning. And if you click install, your car's then out of action for an hour at least. Whereas with this, you can let it install overnight while you sleep, and then in the morning, you've automatically got that new update applied. So that's a really useful feature. And then next, we've got Dashcam viewer updates. So with this, you can save any clip from recent Dashcam footage for permanent storage on your Tesla or on your phone by going into App, Launcher, Dashcam Viewer. To enable viewing on your phone, go to Controls, Safety, and turn on Camera View via mobile app. Clips stay in the vehicle and are never shared to Tesla. Personally, I never view or save dashcam footage on my phone because the image gets compressed when it comes through to the mobile, and it's very poor quality. And I've got HW3 cameras and it's pretty poor quality even in its native state. So I always take the USB drive out of the glove box and view it on my computer. But anyway, let's see what this actually is. So I've been having a little look at the Dashcam viewer, and I'm not sure what this change actually is, because the settings, they say, go into Controls and Safety and turn on Camera View via mobile app. I have that on anyway, and as you can see, I can view my Dashcam in the phone app. But if I open up my Dashcam here, so I'm not sure what's really changed, because everything in the car is saved anyway, otherwise I wouldn't be seeing it. So I'm not sure what this change has added, but possibly it's added this. So we can now see the speed, the steering, and we can now see indicators. So let's just show you this. So as I'm going into the right lane there, you can see my indicator is flashing there. You can also see when I'm braking. And this was yesterday, driving down the M40. You can see past the half-mile marker for an exit. I've pulled into the second lane, and behind me is this pickup coming close and fast behind me. So at this point, I pull over into lane 2, just past the second marker, now the first marker, and I'm now only in lane 2, past the first marker. And this idiot in the pickup pulls across right in front of me, braking, and pulls into the slip road. But anyway, the actual change on this update, I'm not sure what it is, whether it is just this new speed and controls display, because I can't see anything different in here apart from this. Maybe that came in another update, I don't know. Anyway, let me know in the comments if you can add any more to that one. So next, we've got an improvement with the weather map, and we've got different colours on it now, so you can now see the difference between snow and rain. Not that we're going to see any today because it's a bright sunny day. But anyway, we can see some rain coming into the UK there. And what you can also now do is go back further on this player. So at the moment it's 11 AM. We can go back in time as well as going forward. So before, you couldn't go backwards in time. And you've got a little colour chart at the top there showing you rain, ice, mix and snow. So that's the difference with the weather app. So the next new feature is Supercharging pricing filter. This is something that I've really been looking forward to. So you can now choose to route only to superchargers with Tesla pricing. When enabled, Trip Planner will avoid locations where Tesla does not set the charging price or accept free supercharging credits. To enable this, go to Controls, Navigation, Trip Planner Settings. So Controls, Navigation, Trip Planner Settings, and it's here, New. Only add superchargers accepting free supercharging. It's already enabled in my case, so they've done that. And I get free supercharging on this car. So I don't want to visit Tesla superchargers which aren't actually on the supercharger network. For example, EV OTM, EV on the move. And even though they're operated by Tesla and they're Tesla superchargers, the actual pricing is set by that landlord or that network. And as I get free supercharging on this car, I don't want to stop at those and pay 75p, whereas I could go to a genuine Tesla supercharger and get my charging for nothing. So this is quite good, and it's just going to filter those out of my navigation, so the car won't route automatically to one of those chargers where I'd have to pay. So next we've got keyboard change. Your selected keyboard language will also select the language used for dictation. Well, that's a small thing, but anyway, that might be useful for some people. And then we've got some security improvements. But there's also a few undocumented changes with this update. And the first one, which might be obvious, is these shortcuts at the bottom of the screen are now larger. And this is what they looked like yesterday. And the next little change is the volume control there now has that icon at the end showing you the media source, whereas before it was just a music note for all sources of media. So quite a few niceties there, and it's great Teslas keep getting better as they age. You get these over-the-air updates free of charge which add these new features. So this car's now 2.5 years old. I've probably had, I don't know, 20 to 30 updates in this car since I've owned it. They generally come through about once a month, quite often as frequently as every fortnight. But Tesla bundle up a lot of the new features into seasonal updates. So you get this spring one, we get a summer one, you have an autumn one, and you have a Christmas one. And that's when they add a lot of the new niceties. A lot of the features are for the newer car, so this is a hardware 3 car, but this still does have the AMD Ryzon processor because the hardware 3 is the autopilot computer, not the MCU computer. But the newer cars do have a few other changes. They've changed the visualization graphics, they've greatly improved that. But the older cars with the Intel processor, they don't get a lot of these things because the processor literally can't handle it. So yeah, it's a bit frustrating if you've got an older car that you don't get some of the new features, and they don't have Grok yet either. But that and some of these other functions may well roll out to the Intel cars at some point in the future. And this other change in the spring update, which the Intel cars will get as well, is this changes to trips. So I'm going to cover that in a separate video. So I hope you found this useful. If you have, as always, please do click the thumbs up. That really does help. Do subscribe if you're not, and I'll see you on the next one. If you like the video, please do click the thumbs up button, and leaving a comment also helps too. Plus, of course, subscribe if you're not. If the video saved you time or money, a little support via Ko-fi or the Super Thanks button would mean a lot. There's over 1,300 videos on the channel, so have a browse, use the search, and have a look at the playlists. And here's 2 videos you may want to check out.